Welcome, everyone. Today we delve into countries with the harshest penalties for criminals. We venture into territories where laws are as fascinating as they are daunting, where consequences can be severe and shocking. Buckle up as we embark on a journey that takes us from the modern metropolises to the remote corners of our world, revealing the strictest penal systems in existence. We kick off our list with a country that is a blend of futuristic architecture, luxurious lifestyle, and age-old customs, the United Arab Emirates. Known for its glittering cities and sandy deserts, the UAE is also recognized for its stringent laws. The country's penal code is a unique mix of traditional Islamic laws, known as Sharia, and modern norms. Imagine getting fined, jailed, or even deported for swearing online. Yes, that's right. In the UAE, using foul language on the internet, even as innocuous as a middle finger emoji, can land you in hot water. And it doesn't stop there. Public displays of affection, having sex outside marriage, or consuming alcohol without a license can lead to severe penalties, including fines, imprisonment, or even corporal punishment in the form of flogging. For those who follow Islam, the penalties can be even more severe. Certain crimes can lead to stoning, amputation, or even death. The severity of these laws serves as a stark reminder of the importance of respecting local customs and regulations, especially when visiting or living in a foreign country. So, if you're in the UAE, better mind your manners and online etiquette. Remember, while the UAE is a country of grandeur, wealth, and progress, it's also a place where laws are strictly enforced and penalties can be severe. As we continue our journey, brace yourself for more revelations about the world's harshest penal systems. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into this intriguing topic in the coming scenes. Let's tread lightly as we navigate through the complex maze of global justice systems. And remember, knowledge is the first step towards understanding. Moving on to Indonesia, a beautiful country with a tough stance on drugs. Indonesia is known for its diversity and beauty, but it also has some of the strictest drug laws on the globe. The country has a zero-tolerance policy when it comes to narcotics. If you're caught with more than 5 grams of drugs, you can face the ultimate price: death by firing squad. This isn't just a threat, but a grim reality for many. Take the infamous Bali 9 case, for instance. This group of Australians was arrested in 2005 for smuggling heroin. Despite international pleas for mercy, 2 of the members were executed a decade later. The others continue to languish behind bars. Foreigners, celebrities, locals. The law doesn't discriminate in Indonesia. When it comes to drugs, the authorities show no mercy. Certainly, Indonesia doesn't play around when it comes to drugs. Next, we have Singapore, known for its cleanliness and, surprisingly, its law against chewing gum. In this immaculate city-state, the mere act of chewing gum could land you in hot water. Yes, you heard that right. In Singapore, it's prohibited to import, sell, or even chew gum, and if you're caught in the act, prepare to dig deep into your pockets, as the fine can be as much as $700. But that's not all. If you were to thoughtlessly spit out your gum on the street, the fine escalates to a whopping $2,000. This stringent rule, as peculiar as it may sound, is part of Singapore's commitment to maintaining its enviable cleanliness. And then, there's the judicial caning, a form of corporal punishment that sends shivers down the spine. This brutal method involves the offender being whipped with a rattan cane. It's not just confined to serious crimes like robbery or rape. Even something as seemingly innocuous as overstaying a visa could warrant this harsh punishment. The pain inflicted by the strokes is so intense that it often leaves permanent scars, sometimes even causing the recipient to faint or bleed. So, if you're planning a trip to Singapore, leave the gum at home. The city's beauty and safety come at the cost of strict laws and severe penalties that ensure its citizens and visitors toe the line. From Singapore, we move to its neighbor, Malaysia, another country with a penchant for caning. Malaysia, a Southeast Asian country known for its stunning beaches and biodiverse rainforests, is also notorious for its strict penalties for criminals. Like Singapore, Malaysia utilizes caning as a form of corporal punishment. But in Malaysia, the cane is thicker and longer, designed to inflict more damage and pain. Caning in Malaysia is not merely a discretionary punishment. It is mandatory for more than 40 offenses. These offenses range from drug trafficking, rape, and kidnapping to illegal immigration. The severity and breadth of crimes that warrant caning underscore Malaysia's stern approach towards maintaining law and order. But caning is not the harshest punishment in Malaysia's criminal justice system. The country also enforces the death penalty for several crimes, including murder, terrorism, and drug trafficking. The method of execution is as archaic as it is gruesome. Unlike some countries that have moved towards seemingly less brutal methods, like lethal injection or hanging, Malaysia continues to use the gallows. The gallows, a symbol of medieval justice, are still very much a part of Malaysia's modern penal system. The country's continued use of such a method sends a chilling message about its stance on crime and punishment. In Malaysia, it seems, the cane and the gallows are still very much in use. Next on our list is Vietnam, a country with zero tolerance for dissent. Vietnam is a communist nation that demands absolute obedience from its citizens. Freedom of speech may be a given in many parts of the world, but in Vietnam, it's a luxury few can afford. If you dare to criticize the government, the Communist Party, or the military, you're treading on thin ice. Such acts of defiance are met with severe punishment. The government doesn't hesitate to employ imprisonment, and in some cases even torture, to quell voices of dissent. But it doesn't stop there. The list of crimes that can land you a death sentence in Vietnam is extensive. With a total of 29 crimes, it ranges from what you might expect, such as murder and rape, to others like treason and drug trafficking. The execution method in Vietnam has seen a shift in recent years. Back in the day, firing squads were the norm, a practice that was as public as it was brutal. However, since 2013, Vietnam has switched over to lethal injection. This method is considered more humane by some, but it also comes with its own set of controversies. The process of lethal injection is more secretive, veiling the final moments of the condemned from public view. It's also significantly more expensive, raising questions about the allocation of resources in a country where many still struggle with poverty. In Vietnam, the message is clear: fall in line or face the consequences. It's a chilling reminder of how the laws we live by can be so drastically different from one place to another, and how the freedoms we often take for granted are not a given for everyone. In Vietnam, silence is golden, especially when it comes to politics. Finally, we arrive in the Philippines, a country with a complex relationship with crime and violence. This archipelago in Southeast Asia is a place of staggering natural beauty, and yet it is often overshadowed by the social issues it grapples with. For many years, the Philippines has struggled with high levels of crime, poverty, and violence. These issues are deeply intertwined, creating a vicious cycle that can be hard to break. Poverty can lead to crime as people struggle to survive, and crime, in turn, can perpetuate poverty by destabilizing communities and scaring away potential investors. The Philippine government has taken a hardline approach to combat these problems. In an effort to crack down on crime, particularly drug-related offenses, they've implemented some of the harshest penalties in the world. The country's controversial war on drugs, initiated in 2016, has seen thousands of alleged drug dealers and users killed in police operations and vigilante-style killings. The judicial system in the Philippines also metes out severe punishments for a range of crimes. The death penalty was abolished in 2006, but life imprisonment without parole is a common sentence for serious offenses such as murder, rape, and drug trafficking. But it's not just the severity of the punishment that is striking, it's also the conditions in which prisoners are kept. Overcrowding in prisons is a significant issue, with inmates often held in squalid, inhumane conditions. These measures, while harsh, are a reflection of the country's ongoing struggle to curb crime and violence. However, they've also raised serious human rights concerns, with critics arguing that the focus should be on addressing the root causes of crime, such as poverty and lack of education, rather than solely on punishment. That wraps up our list of countries with the harshest penalties for criminals. Remember, when traveling, it's crucial to respect and obey the laws of the land.